how do companies get over this challenge, the need, especially at scale, to have to measure everything?
Right. I mean, measurements are always looking in the past, right? They're rarely real time. We need ways of measuring things in real time. I'll give you a quick, perhaps apocryphal example, but it said that the way Walt Disney always measured the experience at Disneyland after it opened is at closing time, he would go to the front gates and walk into the park and look at the smiles on people's faces. And he wanted to if he and right, what's the ratio of smiles to non-smiles, right? There's a measurement that makes sense with experience. It's not about satisfaction or even loyalty. It is, again, about engagement. It's about that emotional response to what you're doing and how engaged are your customers in the experience that you stage.
Part of the world that I come from, design thinking, we talk all the time about empathy, empathy, empathy. The best services, products, experiences are designed with the people who use the stuff in mind. Before you can empathize with anybody, you must be curious. So curiosity is the precursor to empathy. Empathy hopefully leads to action, and action, as a result of that deep-seated question, leads to equity. So in my view, there is a direct, bold line from curiosity through empathy to action to equity. It has to start by asking new, different, and better friggin' questions. That's actually one of the chapters in the book, is ask a better friggin' question.
Oh my God. Like, listen, if I could drop this mic right now on the floor, I would be like, get down. Exactly.
I'm always hunting and sifting through, trying to find that company that is just like killing it, like with their email newsletter. But most companies are still thinking about it, as a distribution strategy. The New York Times does a great job with their morning edition newsletter. And it's a great use of having a person as the kind of what I would call like a host or an anchor, just like you're the host anchor of your own show.
The overwhelming word that just reaches out to me is intimacy. And it is personal. The old permission marketing adage, you've been invited into someone's inbox, their home, their overloaded inbox. The worst thing you could do is disrespect them or make it about you.
Right. And I think that, the email newsletter is just, it's so vastly undervalued. It's the only vehicle in which a person and not the algorithm is in control.
I think it's helpful to be an introvert because typically introverts are much more interested in asking questions and listening to others speak than we are speaking ourselves. So, it's really interesting. I remember being at a Dunkin' Donuts, and I was standing in line, and there was a little kid who was jabbering and jabbering away, and somebody in line made a side comment to the person they were with, saying something like, well, he'll be a great salesperson one day. And the premise was because the kid's a talker and a gabber that he'd be a great salesperson one day, when really just the opposite's true. He could be a good salesperson one day, but he'll have to stop talking and start listening. So typically, I think an introvert actually has more of an advantage because an introvert, again, is going to want the spotlight to be on the other person.